Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. How are you today? Today is Thursday. It is January the 14th, 2021. Today is Thursday, January the 14th, 2021. And if you hear any music in the background, Facebook, YouTube, and others, I do not own the right to this music. Good morning, Pastor Alex. Good morning, Marion. Good morning, Jacqueline. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Adrian. Good morning to all of you. I thought it was so fitting. Good morning, Kelly Lee, to play "You Are My Peace" by Juanita Bynum. Good morning, Elaine. I saw you come in. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Tracy and Hester and Paige. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Patricia. So if you hear the music in the background again, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn, I do not own the rights to this music, to iHeartRadio, to other radio broadcasts. I do not own the right to this music, but I wanted to play this music this morning. Good morning, Kim. Because I think it's just time for us to be in a place of peace. And this song, good morning, Antoinette, and this song, "You Are My Peace," brings about peace for me. I don't know about you, but for me, it brings about peace. And I worship thee. Those are the words to the song, "You Are My Peace." And she says it again, "You are my peace." Good morning, Yvonne. Good morning, Pastor Annette. Good morning. Good morning, Kenya. Yeah, you are my peace, Kenya. It's just, and I wanted to do that, and I wanted us to pray on the front end. Remember, we're doing pause and pray all month. Good morning, Jeffrey. So again, I do not own the rights to the music, but I want us to just pray as we begin today. If that's okay with all of you, have your own prayer requests going. Good morning, Latrice Jones. Have all your prayer requests going, whatever that looks like for you. Good morning, Deborah. But I want us to pray first. So let's just pray. God, in the midst of the storm that may be raging all around us, God, we just want to be in peace. So God, I speak peace to everyone that's tuning in, whether they're driving, whether they're listening by audio, whether they're watching by video. God, we just want to have your peace this morning as we worship you in spirit and in truth, God. God, you are our peace. So I speak peace to all of your people this morning. God, I speak peace. If there's anyone who is wrestling with anxiety, we cut it off at its root and we speak peace. If anyone is in conflict, we speak peace. If anyone is worried or concerned or is operating in fear, God, we speak peace. Your perfect peace, God, will cast out all fear. So peace, God. Your peace, God. Although there's chaos all around us, God, we speak peace. God, you are our peace. God, will exercise wisdom, but we're going to operate in your peace. So God, shift the atmosphere right now in the name of Jesus in everyone's home. If any home is not experiencing peace right now, God, we ask you to shift that paradigm. God, calm the rushing and the pounding of hearts. May we breathe in you and blow out everything that's not of you. God, set the atmosphere today. Order our steps today. God, you're our peace. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Yeah, God, you're our peace. Yes, God. Woo, yes, God, you are our peace. Good morning, Gwen. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning. So yeah, I shifted up a little bit this morning. I just felt chaos. I get a lot of text messages and people were just wrestling. So we speak peace. We speak peace today. We speak peace today. So good morning to everyone. If I missed you, just know that I say good morning to you. I'll be praying for you. So let's get into the news, y'all. Let's get into the news. Well, he definitely made history. He wanted to make history. He definitely has made history. He will be in the history books for years to come as the first president out of, 245 years? He's the first president who has been impeached twice. He's the first president. The U.S. House of Representatives voted yesterday to impeach Donald Trump by a vote of 232 to 197. GOP support, there were 10 Republican House members supported the effort to impeach him, including Liz Cheney. She is the number 3. She is the number 3 Republican leader. She says the president, this is a quote. She says the president of the United States summoned his mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of this attack. There has never been a greater betrayal by a president of the United States of his office and his oath to the Constitution. Again, that's Representative Liz Cheney. Here are a few other quotes that came out of the House on yesterday. Good morning, Stephanie. Donald Trump is a living, breathing, impeachable offense. That's Representative Hakeem Jeffries. Another one is, I will not use process as an excuse. There is no excuse for President Trump's action. That's Representative Dan Newhouse, a Republican. Another quote was, they may have been hunting for Pence and Pelosi to stage their coup, but every one of us in this room right now could have died. That's Representative Jamie Raskin from Democrat of Maryland. Another quote says, some say the riots were caused by Antifa. There is absolutely no evidence of that, and conservatives should be the first to say so. That's Representative Kevin McCarthy, a Republican of California. And then we have Maxine Waters out of California, Democrat, who says he is capable of starting a civil war. So those are just a few quotes that came out, and I've grabbed these quotes from the New York Times. Y'all, we need to heed the warning. And let me share this. Again, I started off with the song Peace by Juanita Bynum, because we need to not operate in fear, but y'all, we have to be aware. I have a responsibility now that I am on all these different platforms doing this news in motion. I have a responsibility when I get alerts to share them. And as I receive these alerts, I am going to share them, y'all. They're for our safety. If I was not to share these things and something happened to one of you in the family, I would feel responsible for not sharing them with you. So I'm sharing these not to scare you. I'm sharing these because this is what's coming across the news wire, and I have a responsibility to share them. So heed the warning. Federal officials warned police chiefs in major cities during a call on Wednesday, that was yesterday, to be on high alert and generous with intelligence as police departments around the country ramp up preparations for the week leading up to the inauguration. The federal intelligence officials, and I'm reading this straight from a quote, the federal intelligence officials warned that armed militia groups and racist extremists are targeting the presidential inauguration. They are also targeting the city capital in each state. So for me, I live in Columbus, Ohio, so I'm going to be aware. So if you live in a capital, in the city's capital of your state, you should exercise caution, exercise wisdom. Now, here's the nation's capital lockdown. All across downtown Washington, D.C., and these are all direct quotes straight from the alerts, The primary sound is the beeping of forklifts uploading more fences. The FBI has warned that armed protests by violent Trump supporters are being planned again in all 50 states. They're targeting also the inauguration. Between the pandemic and the security threat, the DC mayor has flat out asking people not to come to the inauguration. So if you had planned to do that, they're sending this to all people who are doing anything with media, begging you, asking you, pleading with you not to go to DC, not to go to the inauguration. Don't do it. Just don't do it, y'all. Don't do it. Right now, and if you watched any news, I have never seen the United States of America look like what we're seeing right now. They have now right now on boots on the ground, 20,000 National Guard from multiple states. They are expecting to ramp that up even more. They're expecting National Guard to be in every state's capital. So every state's capital. So if you are in a capital within your state, you will more than likely see National Guards. You may more than likely, don't be afraid of them. They're there to help. They're there to help. And again, I don't care what age you are. And you've heard me say this before, and they are saying this in the alerts. Regardless, if you are going anywhere by yourself, tell somebody. So somebody knows this person's out. So if you see anything happening, you can then report, well, I know somebody was in that direction, or you can call them up. Speaking of that, we may or may not be able to do News in Motion live on the 20th. Good morning, John. News in Motion live on the 20th. Why? They're already looking at shutting down certain towers. Good morning, Brian Costin. So I'm not for sure if we will be live on the 20th or not. We're on early enough, we might be, but they are going to be shutting down towers. So I don't know if the live feed is going to work. So we'll stay tuned with that. Speaking of security, I don't understand why the Congress men and women are not following rules. I'm not getting it. Representative Jackie Spear, she says, I just checked in with the U.S. Capitol Police and asked, has anyone refused to be wand? And they said plenty. Then she goes on to say, what's going on to make members of Congress? What is it going to take to make members of Congress follow the rules? They now have a security post where you have to walk through. She is saying that congressmen and women are walking around it and they're refusing to be wand. No, to me, no, you can't come in then. If you cannot follow protocol for security, you can't come in because I'm looking at you as a threat. So she's calling that out. She's calling that out. And she's asking people to stand up with her. All right, y'all, everyone is on high alert. Trust me, I'm getting ready to get to some fun news in a moment, but I want to get this out the way. Y'all, just in case you had an Airbnb scheduled for this week coming, Airbnb is canceling all reservations. And I'll read their quote. Today, in response to various local, state, and federal officials asking people not to travel to Washington, D.C., we are announcing that Airbnb will cancel reservations in the Washington, D.C. metro area during inauguration week. Additionally, we will prevent any new reservations in Washington, D.C. area from being booked during that time by blocking such reservations. Airbnb is going on to say guests whose reservations are canceled will be refunded in full. We also will reimburse hotels. We also will reimburse. Say that real fast. Hosts at Airbnb's expense the money they would have earned from these canceled reservations. So Airbnb has stepped it up so high that they're even paying the host, who will be losing money. That's how you do business. That's customer service. And then Hotel Tonight, if you're on the app Hotel Tonight, thank you, John Swan. If you are on Hotel Tonight, reservations with Hotel Tonight are also being canceled. So they're pretty much, when I'm looking at the list, any hotel in the DC metro area are automatically being canceled, that you will get a reimbursement for your money. Airlines are said to follow as well. So if you are flying in there, but check with your individual airline to get that information if you were going to DC. All right, y'all, politics in motion. Is it too soon? Maybe, but hey, it is what it is. Andrew Yang, Democrat, former presidential candidate, is going to run for mayor in the city of New York in the 2021 election. So he's putting it out there, and he's going to do some great things for the city's poorest people. I was like, go on, Andrew Yang. So he is still putting what he's doing out there. I saw your hashtag, Latrice. I totally agree with that. Stay home, stay home. All right, y'all, set your business in motion. This is phenomenal, y'all. CNBC is reporting. I'm going to have to go back to Starbucks. How can you make the law but not follow the law? You're right, Deborah. She calling them out. Like, go through these metal detectors. I want to make sure because here's the thing. I don't know. The way y'all were acting in here, I don't know who gave out the information. So all of y'all need to go through here because you may have a gun or a knife or something else. I'm with you, Deborah, on that. Y'all may have to go back to Starbucks. Don't hurt me, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. But I think they're trying to turn some things around. Starbucks plan to use a new fund to invest $100 million over the next 4 years in 12 U.S. cities with populations that are Black or majority people of color. Yeah, so I may have to go back to Starbucks. I don't know. But hold on, I got some more stuff. They're also saying the goal is to help bridge the gap between the public and private sectors. They said that last year, many small businesses missed out on federal funding from the PPP, the Payment Protection Program, which was intended to help them stay afloat during the coronavirus pandemic. They said, we're going to fix that. Hold on, y'all. I got another one. Apple on yesterday announced new details on a plan to combat systemic racism and promote racial equality. The initiative includes a $25 million donation, y'all, that supports historically Black colleges and universities. I don't know why I can't get these words out today. Maybe I'm still in worship, so y'all just forgive me. I will read that again. The initiative includes a $25 million donation to help support historically Black colleges and universities. Y'all, this is from Apple. It's the venture capital funding. They're calling it Black and Brown founders. So y'all, that's happening. Hold on, I got another one. Sephora on yesterday announced its plan to deal with racism and racial biases at its stores. The company will stock the store shelves with more Black-owned brand and feature more, have them on their homepage of their website. It will also revamp its marketing tactics to be more inclusive and provide its employees with diversity and inclusion training, which will be mandatory. Y'all, on top of that, it plans to reduce the number of security officers in its stores because they found that they are targeting the Black and brown people. So y'all, we have Sephora, Apple, and Starbucks. Now, I want to pause here just to say this. When I'm giving you this information, we need to, as a community, figure out how we're going to access these funds. We need to figure out how we're going to access these funds. You have Starbucks, $100 million. You have Apple, $25 million. You have Sephora opening it up to more Black-owned businesses and brands, marketing and training. We know we have some diversity and inclusion trainers in this community. You all, time for you to write your letters to Sephora to say, hey, I know this is happening. Here's my proposal. We need to have proposal writers on here to do pitches so that you all can position yourselves. And y'all, don't just think this is for cosmetics. Go ahead and give a pitch. Be a part of this. Go ahead and give a pitch on how you can design the store, how you can lay it out, how you can put artwork on the walls of Sephora. Y'all, we gotta stop limiting ourselves and look at the broader picture. So y'all, Starbucks 100 million, Apple 25 million, and Sephora. So y'all, we need to put these things out here. We need to put these things out here. So I'm giving you the information. Many times we can't even find this information. I'm giving you the information. Now do something with this information that I'm giving you. Do something with this information I am giving you, y'all. Do something with it. So even with Starbucks, okay, they're investing 100 million. Okay, who out here wants to do some development? Those of you in here from Maryland, from Baltimore, are there some developmental needs there? Hey, tap into this 100 million. North Carolina, Detroit. I know you're on here. Detroit, tap into this $100 million. Y'all, this is how we do it. Lori, I just saw your name pop up. That artwork back there, do that artwork and say, I can post so many art pieces in your store. Y'all, we have to start thinking creatively so that we can do these things, y'all. Seriously. There's money out there. It's up to us to tap into these funds. It's up to us to tap into these funds. That's right, Mary. It's up to us to tap into these funds. I can keep reading these off every week. But if we don't do anything with it, we're still at a standstill. We have to do something with it. We have to do something with it. We do. So there's that. And trust me, I'm calling Starbucks. Y'all want to sponsor an episode of News in Motion? Look, you talking about the Black community? We have a community right here. You want to sponsor News in Motion? You better believe the millennial team is sending a proposal. Oh yeah, they are. And I'm not afraid to tell y'all that. Because we're not competing here, y'all. We're not competing here. We are enhancing each other. We are uplifting each other. And I know there's trolls on here to see what I'm doing. I know they are. I know there's trolls on here seeing what I'm doing. I have no problem telling you what I'm doing because I'm that confident. And see, when we run businesses, hi, Joy Bruton. When we run businesses and when we have dreams and when God has called us to something, you don't have to be scared to share. We talked about that yesterday, y'all. We talked about that yesterday. Go ahead and share it. What God has for you, it is for you. So don't do the sneaky stuff and troll. Just call up the person. Hey, I see you were talking about this. And call them up. Don't email them. That's the wimpy way around. I see you're working on this. How can we partner? What can we do together? What does this look like? Don't just troll. Ask the question. Ask the question. Ask the question. All right, y'all, the coronavirus numbers in the U.S. Remember, I go through the World Health Organization. I bypass the CDC. I get them firsthand. The confirmed cases are 23,616,345. 23,616,345. That's a lot. It topped 40, this week topped 4,300. I think I have that number. I'll get to that in a moment. Deaths, 393,928. Deaths, 393,928. They always said we were going to hit 400,000 before the end of January. It looks like we will be well into over 400,000 deaths. Y'all continue to pray for the people who have lost loved ones, families, just continue to pray. Recovered, which we will celebrate that recovery. Recovered is 13,975,036. Again, recovered is 13,975,036. Again, someone asked a question, the difference between the 23,000 and 13,000. Where are they? More than likely, they are either in the hospital. They could be on ventilators. I'm not real sure, so I don't want to just give you information. That's what I'm just assuming is taking place there. In COVID news, and I want all of you in Ohio to pay attention to this. In COVID news, The Hill is reporting earlier this week, we hit a grim record of the United States of over 4,300 daily COVID cases. I'm sorry, COVID deaths. Daily for 4,300 daily COVID deaths. And the number of infections continue to rise despite a national vaccine rollout. Now, pay attention, Ohio, to this next sentence. If you're in Ohio, this sentence is extremely important. Researchers in Ohio have discovered 2 new variants of the virus that likely originated in the U.S. They're different from the ones found in the UK and in South Africa. In case you missed it, I'll read it again. Researchers in Ohio have discovered 2 new variants of the virus that likely originated in the U.S. They're different from the ones found in the UK and in South Africa. All right, y'all, I have some Toykyo news. And I actually was cracking up reading this. I have some Toykyo news. A 37-year-old Toykyo man says that he rents himself out to other people. Just keep listening. He calls himself Rent a Man Who Does Nothing. And what he does, he says, I'm glad to be able to walk with someone while keeping a comfortable distance where we don't even have to talk. I'm just with you. And people, he's like in demand. He is in demand to be with people. You can rent him to do nothing. Y'all, he's becoming a millionaire behind this. Hold on. He says, his name is Sojaya Morimoto. He says, I have been advertising myself as a person who could eat and drink with you. He says, but I eat and drink at a different table next to you. You pay him to do nothing. And that's what he's called. He says, rent me to do nothing. So listen, y'all, he has received over 3,000 requests. He has about 270,000 Twitter followers. Initially, he had offered his rent a person who does nothing service for free, but he now charges 10,000 yen, roughly $96 US money per request. He said, they go on to say people rent him for various reasons. For example, he has been rented to just turn up to send off people who are moving. He just turns up and says, you're going to do well. Have a great life. That's what he's doing. And he's getting paid to do it, y'all. He's getting paid to do it. He accompanies people who are filing for divorce. He'll say, I'm just sitting outside so that when you come out, if you're crying, I'm going to cheer you on. This is what this man does, y'all. He also listens, to healthcare workers who have become mentally unwell during the pandemic. He's like, I'm just going to beat her to say, I'm cheering you on. They're paying him $96 every time. This is called a creative mind, and people are hiring him to do it. If somebody is like going to be going home late by themselves, and let's say it's a female or male and they don't want to go, they'll ping him and say, can you just stand outside until I get into my home? They hire him to do that. So y'all, he's a Toykyo man. He's a person for hire who does nothing. And he's getting paid for it. I just thought that was just some fun news to share. All right, y'all, for the win. For the win is good too, y'all. For the win is good too. And I'm using her label for a reason. So just let me get through the entire for the win before you go, why did you say she's white? So a white 18-year-old Helena Duke for the win. Helena, Helena Duke, Duke. She gets the win. 18-year-old, she gets the win. She has been thrown out of her home over Black Lives Matter support. And here's what happens. Here's her tweet. Her tweet says, hi, Mom. Remember the time you told me I shouldn't go to the Black Lives Matter protest because they could get violent? Is this you? She posted a picture of her mother hitting a U.S. Capitol Police on Twitter. Yes, she did, y'all. She says, and then adding to another tweet to prove that in fact it's her mom. She identified her mom to the FBI, y'all. Teresa Duke. Teresa hit a black officer, 28-year-old Asante Smith, in the face during a rally and was punched, of course, by Smith in response. The crowd of white men around them felt comfortable attacking the police officer, physically dragging the police officer, again, her name is Asante Smith, dragging her before throwing her to another group of officers. It is unclear if any of the other people, the men, assaulted the officer has been charged, but Teresa has been. She did a tweet, y'all. Helena Duke did a tweet. She gets the win. She called out her mother. She said, "Hi, Mom. Remember the time you told me I shouldn't go to Black Lives Matter protests because they could get violent? Is this you?" Well, actually, she don't say is. She goes, "This you?" with a question mark, and puts the picture on Twitter that has gone viral. It has gone viral. So that's the news today, y'all. The inspirational message, we're going to continue to pause and pray. We really did it on the front this morning where we did You Are My Peace. We listened to that. I prayed for all of you. So y'all, and continuing our time of prayer through the end of the month, again, our ministry challenge through the end of the month is to be intentional to pray 3 minutes a day, 3 times a day. 3 minutes a day, 3 times a day. We're praying for worship experience, for an encounter with God. We're praying for mission and ministry. We're praying for family, personal needs, and for your neighbor, whatever that looks like for you. But the thing is to find a place to pray 3 minutes a day, 3 times a day. And I'm hearing from so many of you who are saying your 3 minutes are turning into 30 minutes. Some of you are saying you're finding yourself praying for an hour. It was Diane Ladybug that says you can do that in the car. You can pray those 3 minutes in the car. So you may be saying, well, what does that look like? What does that look like for me? How do I pray? What does that look like for me? How do I do that? Well, my husband gives this quote, and I have it in a couple of my prayer books. We do not know the author of the quote, but the quote says, "Go to God with your heart and come away with his." So when you're praying, just be still. Again, the song we did earlier, "You Are My Peace," just be still. Go to God with your heart. Let God know what's on your heart. Let God know what's happening. Go to God with your heart, but come away with his. What is God's heart? Y'all know that scripture where he says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So many of us have a heavy burden upon us, but God is calling us to just release that. He's saying, release that. He's saying, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So y'all, let's go to God with our heart and come away with his. Let's go to God with our heart. Let's go to God with our heart saying, okay, God, I just want to have a worship experience with you. I want to have an encounter with you. And by the time you leave there, you're going to have an encounter with God, because you're giving him your heart and you're going away with his. That's an encounter with the Lord. When you're praying, another 3 minutes could be for missions and for ministry. You can go to God with all of your concerns for mission and ministry and the things that are burdening you and the things that you may be having a struggle with. But by the time you leave that conversation with God, you're walking away with his heart, knowing that he's going to favor people. He's going to answer your prayer. He's going to shower everyone with every request that you have. He's going to answer all requests, whatever that looks like. And then pray for your family. Pray for your personal needs. Pray for your neighbors. Again, go to God with your heart. Let him know about your family, about what's going on, about the struggles or the concerns or the victories. Also, y'all can go to God with praise reports and thank him and worship him. Then talk about your needs, what you're seeking, what you're dealing with, what your victories may be. And then also pray for your neighbor. And your neighbor doesn't have to be across the street or next door. Your neighbor could be in another country. So pray for your neighbor. Ask God to bless them. Ask God to strengthen them. Ask God to give them everything they stand in need of. Ask God to heal them. When you go to God with your heart, you'll come away with his less burden. All right, y'all, I am Gail Dudley with your news in motion. Today is Thursday, January the 14th, 2021. Please make it a great day. Make it a great day. Don't forget those list of companies that I gave you that have millions that they're wanting to sow and take care of in Black and brown communities. Don't miss those opportunities, y'all. Start writing your pitches. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to have a pitch workshop on a Zoom, not on here, but on Zoom, where people can learn how to write a pitch. Maybe that's what we'll do. Well, until tomorrow is Mimosa Friday. I will see you right here, God willing, at 7:25 a.m. Love everyone. Peace out. Have a great day. Social distance. Wear your mask and wash your hands. Peace out.